It is today's leadoff question with Derron Reddick, the Council Grove football coach. Coach, your question today: who is the best player that you have had to coach against?
Yeah, I think right now it's kind of an easy one. Who we ran into last year in the Final Four, in a game that we lost by a few touchdowns there at the end. Hike, and I apologize to the kid if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but um, eerily similar to Tucker Horrock for Rossville in the mid 2010s. A kid that is a quarterback, almost running back hybrid. The kid, I don't think I've ever seen somebody even at our classification being 2A, be able to handle the workload that he handled. We saw a few games prior to that, he had over 40 carries, and we felt like there was a chance that we could wear him down if he had to get into that 40 carry situation with the depth in our defense. And it kind of turned back around on us. It's strange to see a kid have the ability that as they get into the 30s on the carry count, almost get better, stronger, more explosive, faster, just really unusual. He looks like he's every bit of 5'10", 5'11", 220 pounds. And um, heck, he was an underclassman too. So kind of excited to see from afar what that kid's able to do this year. But yeah.
What was the scheme like as far as trying to prepare for Hike?
Yeah. Honestly, our scheme didn't change a lot because kind of the way we're built to defend the run, kind of primarily the gap scheme type stuff that they did. We felt like we were kind of built to defend that. It wasn't necessarily having an extra set of eyes on him. It was just being aware that that's the dude. If you can control him, limit him a little bit, then you have a chance. Great character, that I think that was a great combination for him. After the game, he was talking to our kids. He was friendly with their coaches. Um, just a special talent, and Kansas high school football is lucky to have him.
That is Derron Reddick, the head coach of the Council Grove football team. It is today's leadoff question with Carter Hajek, a student athlete with Nemaha Central football. Carter, our leadoff question: who's the best player that you played against so far in your high school career?
The best player I've played against so far, there's been a couple of them, but the name that comes to mind is Kason Parsons from Osage City. He's a quarterback and linebacker. We faced him in the playoffs 2 years in a row, and it's always a super competitive game. He's just a baller.
What stood out the most about him? What are his attributes, and what are some of the things that make him really good?
His just awareness of the game is insane, and whenever he's throwing the ball, it always seems to go where he wants it. He's just a really athletic player. He's just a game changer. So it's always fun to play against him.
Yeah, did you have a pretty good idea of what he was about before you even played him the first time? Did you have a pretty good scout report on him?
We did. He actually had his older brother. His older brother was a senior. He was the running back. We actually did more of a scouting report on him because he was a beast. But Kason definitely opened my eyes that game. I think he opened a lot of people's eyes that game. He's a competitor.
Do you remember any of his numbers? What were his numbers like against you guys?
Against us this past year, I don't even know. He probably threw for about 200 yards, rushed for about 60 or 70. He just had a complete game. He just knows how to get the ball to his playmakers.
When you're playing a guy like that of that caliber, does that kind of excite you to get you even more excited for a game like that against a good competitor?
Oh, for sure. Most definitely. Playing football, it's fun and stuff, but it's even more fun whenever you're playing against a good team, a good player. It's just competitive, and that's football. It's fun.
You usually have pretty good idea like before you go into games. I mean, you got social media, you know who's who. Do you have a pretty good idea? Okay, these are the studs in each one of these teams.
Oh, most definitely. Our coaches do a really good job on the scouting report each week. We get that on Monday, and they like to highlight the best players. And so the coaches do a pretty good job at it. But myself, I'll also see on Twitter and stuff. If you're really good, I'll definitely see you and check you out before we play you.
That's Carter Hajek with Nemaha Central football with our leadoff question.